Have you ever heard a song and then read the lyrics to discover that the words being sung weren't what you thought at all, making you rethink the meaning? This video takes a look into that phenomenon. This mishearing phenomenon was named by American freelance writer Sylvia Wright. She recalled the first verse of a Scottish ballad in one of her humorous articles. Ye Highlands and ye Lowlands, oh where have you been? They have slain the Earl of Murray and laid him on the green. Except this wasn't how Wright had heard it. Rewind what I just said and you'll see how she misheard it. Ye Highlands and ye Lowlands, oh where have you been? They have slain the Earl of Murray and laid him on the green. Since Wright's article in 1954, a mishearing like this has been referred to as a Mondegreen. As I mentioned at the beginning, the most common place to find Mondegreens is in songs. Whatever you use to listen to them, you usually do so without simultaneously reading through the lyrics, especially when you listen to a song for the first time. Poetic license and singing style mean that words can bleed into each other, and background instruments can crowd out exactly what someone is singing. If the quality of the vocal recording is poor, or we listen on a radio or through headphones in a noisy environment, that all makes us more likely to miss the correct lyrics. When faced with confusion and ambiguity, our brains like to fill in the gaps. We're uncomfortable with not knowing what we're hearing, so we make subconscious assumptions to understand it better. A well-known example of a Mondegreen in popular music is in the Jimi Hendrix song Purple Haze. One of the lyrics is, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky," but listen back to it and you could easily hear, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky." The psychology behind Mondegreens is complicated. People naturally search for what they're familiar with, a tendency called confirmation bias. In ordinary life, people are more likely to kiss guys than to kiss skies, so this explains the easy mishearing in Purple Haze. But think about some examples of when you've misheard song lyrics, and you may notice that your misheard version of the lyrics normally doesn't make as much sense as the original, and may be so unlikely that it's funny. Scroll through the YouTube comments to popular songs, and you'll often find people commenting on a silly Mondegreen that they just can't unhear. Although Mondegreens can be a source of humour, sometimes they get taken very seriously. A classic example of confirmation bias at work is when protective parents hear the music their children enjoy, listening out for inappropriate language. If you listen out for swear words, you're more likely to hear them, even when they aren't there, especially in an unclear recording. In 1963, a concerned father wrote to the US Attorney General, complaining about obscenities in the song Louie Louie, written by Richard Berry and performed by the Kingsmen. Astonishingly, this resulted in a 31-month FBI investigation into what the song's lyrics really were. At the end, they decided that no one could determine what the singer was actually singing because the recording was so unclear, so the song could not be classified as obscene. It's reported that during the whole investigation, the FBI never once interviewed the songwriter or checked the official lyrics which were filed with the US Copyright Office, which were completely clean. Occasionally, Mondegreens become part of the standard version of a song's lyrics. In the Christmas carol The 12 Days of Christmas, the earliest known version used the phrase "four collie birds," collie being an old word for black used in Britain from the word coal. The now standard version, for calling birds, originates from a mishearing of collie by people who weren't familiar with the word. Share Mondegreens from songs you know in the comments section below. While you're here, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll get another video from Philologism every week.